Well, wow. Wow. Anybody have any tissues? Oh, that was amazing. And there is more celebration yet to come. We hope that you'll stick around after our worship service today to join our reception, where we will have some photos and videos and some gifts to celebrate Coi. So we have a lot of fun things prepared for that. But first, I'd like to invite Annette to share a little bit about her mother and invite us to listen. And I know that there's some stage movements that need to happen here at the same time. So, not yet. All right, yes. All right, Annette.
I am so honored to talk today about the bell choir that's been such a big part of my mom's life and has added so much to this church for the last 45 years. I'm lucky to have played in the bell choir both as a teenager in the first 3 years, along with my brother and sisters, my grandma, and my Uncle Butch, and now again as an adult for the last few years. The bell choir started in the fall of 1978, but its beginnings go back even further. From what I hear from my mom and Butch, it was my grandparents who first heard a bell choir play while they were traveling. They came back talking about how beautiful it was. Soon after, a bell choir from Portland played a concert in our fellowship hall. This was the first time that my mom heard bells play, and she was hooked. Acquiring the bells was an effort of the whole church. Unlike in other churches where often one person donates all the money to buy the bells, here at Hillsboro UCC, buying the first 2 octaves of bells was a big fundraising effort led by the youth group, particularly Rob Gordon. At the time, my mom was directing the church's youth choir and hadn't ever played bells. She attributes her attitude of course I can learn how to direct a bell choir, to a combination of her family's can-do attitude and musicality, and Mr. Gutman, the longtime Hillsboro band director who let her play the bass viol in all of the bands because her sister said she could, even though she had never played it before. She learned to play the bass viol quickly and also learned that she could jump in and do something new without any experience. This served her well as she started directing the bell choir, just using 2 books that she still has and learning along the way. She particularly enjoyed the many festivals that they went to through the years and says that she learned more at each one. One of her favorite memories is of the National Bell Festival that took place in Portland and how amazing it felt to play along with 400 other bell ringers and how it brought tears to her eyes. In the first 5 years of the bell choir, Jan Sheldon, who was a member at the time and who had also been my kindergarten teacher, wrote and arranged the music that they played. Later, the bell choir was able to purchase music and developed an extensive library. Upstairs, you can see the book where my mom has kept track of every song the choir has ever played, as well as every bell choir member through the years. My mom remembers fondly the matching outfits that the bell choir has worn. They started with matching pillow shirts that my mom had ironed on a bell insignia. They then had various outfits, some that she sewed herself, that they wore to play at church and to bell festivals. Luckily, we have pictures of some of these outfits upstairs. The bell choir started with members that were 4th graders through adults until my mom started a separate children's chime choir. She would regularly do a 6-week children's bell class choir, after which some would graduate up to the regular choir, often with a parent. She also taught chimes to children at some local schools. She herself did a solo on the bells every year. We're lucky to have a few recordings and videos of these, as they were amazing. My mom, believe it or not, has only missed 1 scheduled bell choir practice in 45 years. And that was when a flight was canceled. During the years that I lived in the Dominican Republic, she would schedule her trip to visit us around bell choir practice and leave Hillsboro on a Thursday, coming back 10 days later on a Tuesday, so she would only have to cancel 1 practice. I didn't appreciate this at the time because I always wanted her to stay longer, but now I see this as a sign of how dedicated she is and has always been to the bell choir. Bell choir has been a joyful part of our mom's life, something that has enriched and filled her spirit for 45 years. We will all miss your bell choir directing and all the beautiful music that you've brought to the church.
The kids.
So now I'd like to invite anyone who has ever played a bell under Coi's direction to come to the tables, and we're all going to play a scale. So come up, and the regular bell choir folks will help you find a bell and get it in the right order.
Thanks. I'm going to say a special thank you to all of our bell